Welcome back, family travelers. We are very excited to have you here. This is another one of our Travel Tip Tuesdays.
2 minutes.
That one too.
2-minute Travel Tip Tuesdays.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
I'm Nick, Liz and Brittany, and we're family on standby. We are here to talk today about kids' passports.
And how you get them.
Every Tuesday we're going to be having these travel tips, discussions, chats. I call it a fireside chat, but
things in the news, anything that you want to know. Let us know in the comments if there is anything special. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about things that
we find interesting.
Yeah.
So Tuesdays are travel tips, Sundays are kind of more family travel vlogs. So stick around.
So let's get into how you get your kids a passport. Whenever you're going to fly with a baby, you need a passport.
Yep. It sounds intense, but it's really not.
It's pretty simple. We did it.
5 easy steps? I think 5.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
5 or 6, something around there.
Okay.
We actually flew with our baby for the first time when he was 2 months old. So we had to do some quick planning to make sure that we had the passport in time. We'll show you. We'll walk you through it. So there could be different circumstances and different scenarios and all of that depending on what your particular situation is. So we're just going to go with like the easy path, just have all your documents, fill out the forms.
Yep, no unique situations.
Yeah. If there are unique situations, you can always call and get those answers, but we're just going to cover the basics here.
Yep.
The website, we will link it down below that we'll refer to for a lot of what you do here. Travel.gov.
Yep.
What is it?
State.travel.gov or travel.state.gov. We'll confirm that. Put that down below.
Okay, yeah, we'll confirm. Maybe pop it up on the screen too. But
Step 1.
gather your documents.
You gotta have your birth certificate.
Yep.
Social security card. That comes with an asterisk.
Yes, we'll get into that more later, but
and then the parents' birth certificate and/or passport.
yeah, and these are all lumped into like you have to have proof of citizenship, so in whatever form that is. Most generally a birth certificate, social security card, and then for your parents you need proof of your relationship to the child, and you can generally just use the child's birth certificate. So.
And keep in mind this is both parents, not one parent, and we'll get into that part later too.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of asterisks here, but it's not as confusing as it may sound.
Yeah.
Get into what happens later if you don't have the social security card. You will need that birth certificate though, so you have to wait for that regardless. Order that the second they're born, and then you'll have it in time for when you need it.
We did it 2 weeks after Everett was born, which is how long the hospital requires you wait, and it took 2 weeks to get it from the county. So 4 weeks before you even start the process. Step 2.
Step 2. Decide where you're going.
That's kind of key.
You may already know this, but if you don't already have a place in mind, now is the time to choose where you're going to go.
For a couple of reasons. First one, you have to actually write your destination and dates of travel on the passport application itself. The other thing, you have to decide if you're going to get a passport card or a passport book, or both. Now if you're only planning on taking a cruise to Mexico and Canada or driving across the border, a passport card will be just fine. Anything else requires the book. We chose to do both actually, not because we're ever going to drive to Canada. We might.
Never say never.
But it's actually a great little ID to have with you, so you don't ever have to carry a birth certificate when you fly with your kids, which technically you're supposed to.
If you're ever planning on going somewhere overseas or somewhere that isn't a cruise, Canada or Mexico, then you may as well just get the book. But totally up to you. Also keep in mind that the process we're going over here is for US passports. It may differ in your country.
Step 3.
Step 3. Fill out the online form. I believe it's called DS11.
DS11.
No clue what that stands for. Do you know?
No idea.
No idea. But that form you can find on the website, on the online website that we referred to. One moment, please.
She wants an extra boy.
This is where you'll put in your social security number, your destination, all of that information goes in this form. Now, if you do not have a social security number yet for your child, you can still go through the application process. There's just like something that you have to write in there that basically says, I am legally guaranteeing that my child does not yet have a social security number.
Yep.
If your child legally has a social security number, you put it in the form.
And if you're lying about it, it's perjury.
Yes, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Number 4, take the pictures.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. You basically have 2 options for how you get pictures taken. You can go somewhere and have them professionally taken. Walgreens, CVS,
Kinko's?
Yeah, any place like that. You can look it up beforehand, but a lot of places kind of along those lines will know how to take passport pictures and do it for a small fee, and it's usually only like
$10 or $15.
yeah, nothing too expensive. Or you can take them on your own, which is what we did because it's pretty easy to do that. They even give you some guidelines on the website. They
We'll
say
throw those up.
yeah, but they're essentially like how close you have to be. It's very specific, so don't think that they're like guidelines that you don't actually have to follow because you do have to follow them.
Fun fact, I had my passport rejected because FedEx messed up my passport photos.
Actually,
So they take it seriously.
yeah, I actually had one messed up too because they said I was smiling too much in it.
I forgot about that.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
The best part about the baby passport photos, though, is that a passport is good for 5 years if you're under 18. And so when Everett and Olivia are 5, they're gonna have their pictures of them being newborns.
Yeah, and they look nothing like it. It's ridiculous, but
Love it.
such is the case.
All right, a couple of tips for taking your baby's passport photo. Pick a time when they've like just gotten up from nap but are still happy. The baby's eyes have to be open. You can't have like a sleeping
Which
child.
is really tricky when you have a newborn.
You can either lay them flat on a white sheet, or another thing that might work is to put the white sheet in a car seat and then put them in the car seat and take
I believe
a
that's
picture.
what we did for Olivia.
Yeah.
And just know that it can get rejected if it doesn't follow their guidelines.
Yep.
So,
Be careful out there.
it's serious business.
5.
This is when you make your appointment and you have to actually go to the post office to complete your application process.
All your documents.
Yes.
Both parents have to be there. If both parents can't be there, depending on your situation, work or otherwise, the other parent that's not there has to have a notarized form. I don't remember what that one's called, but that's all in the same like passport application packet. It has to be notarized and it has to go with them. So
Yeah.
it's easier just to have the 2 to go together, but certainly understand the
Difference,
circumstances.
yeah.
So we made our appointment and we were there for maybe 20 minutes. Super simple. Make sure you bring your checkbook because they don't take credit cards. You have to send the actual check to the State Department. When you actually apply for your passport, don't sign your document, your DS-11 before. It has to be witnessed by the actual passport office. Some
Yeah.
people mess that up and they have to refill it out again. It's annoying. You're gonna leave your birth certificate with them, but you'll get it back later on.
Yeah. Number 6.
6. We were right. All right, so wait for your passport to come in the mail. Which reminds us, we didn't actually talk about the expedited or standard processing times.
You can choose to just go with the regular times or you can get it expedited. If you're planning on traveling soonish, you might want to go with the expedited just to make sure it gets here in time, which I think is just like it comes in about a week or 2 if you do expedited.
We submitted
Okay.
ours on a Monday and we got it the following Wednesday.
Okay, that's super fast. If you know long enough in advance, then you should be okay with just the standard
Yep.
times.
And once, the little tip here, when you see your check cleared, that's when you're able to check the status.
Pro tip.
Yes.
While you're waiting for it to come in the mail, you can go on the same website and check the status of your application. So it'll tell you where you're at in the process after your check clears. It will arrive to you, and then one thing don't leave out, signing of the passport.
Well, yeah, Everett signed his own name.
Yeah, he was 2 months and he signed it.
Excellent.
Put a little John Hancock on it. No, obviously if your kids are too young to sign their own passport, parents are allowed to sign it for them. There's just, you have to print the child's name,
Yep.
sign your name next to it,
Yep.
and then in parentheses, I think you have to write your relationship to the child.
Yep.
Pretty easy to do. That's it.
6 steps. So if you're new to Family on Standby, every Tuesday we do these travel tip videos, and every Sunday our family travel vlogs. So if you're enjoying this, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to get the reminders, follow us on social, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so you don't miss a video.
For now, though, happy travels. Bye.